Zombie apocalypse. Zombie apocalypse.
Good afternoon, MEI students who are currently taking Electrical and Electronics Technology course. Once again, this is Sir Kenji E. Mirenciano. And if you can still recall, I think that was Friday when we had our sync meeting or online meeting. Wherein I presented another interesting topic, which is all about circuits. And I reminded you that on Monday we will not meet due to the scheduled 50-second commencement exercises. Unfortunately, last Sunday I got a fever, but still managed to attend to the college baccalaureate mass. That morning I'm not feeling well, so that's why in the afternoon I was not able to attend the graduation ceremony. However, I watched the online or the Facebook live or stream, and I observed that medyo maulan, napakalakas ng ulan nung Monday. And medyo bangabasang siso yung ating mga graduates and even the faculty, staff, and the rest, so together with their parents. However, it was successful, and it's also momentous in a sense that for the past 2 or 3 years, naibalik or nagkaroon ulit tayo ng face-to-face na graduation rites or ceremony. Hopefully, lahat kayo, I'm praying and hoping na makikita ko din kayo sa stage na aakyat din doon, and they will receive their diploma with a master's degree na rin. Siguro in 2 years or 1 year time, makukuha nyo din yung gusto ninyo. That's why you are here, not just because to learn, but to apply what you've learned, diba? And kasi ang pag-aral kasi ng masters, hindi lang siya para makagain or advantage, but it's also a responsibility. Though parang taking masters is an opportunity, at the same time a bigger responsibility. Once you are through with this degree or course, a lot of doors will open, pero don't leave it to the divine providence, but still you need to make a move also to get the desired position or to improve your career. Okay, but for sure there are lots of opportunities ahead once you finish this course. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi naman siya curse, but talagang maraming responsibility na kaakibat kapag if you are a postgraduate degree holder. Kasi expectation sa'yo, you are knowledgeable, first experience, saka perception sa'yo ng tao talagang maraming nalalaman, malaki ang role na pwede nito. Pwede itong maging master teacher, pwede itong maging principal, pwede itong maging head, or bigyan ka ng special assignment or designation because of your degree sought. Kasi ang pag-aral ng masters, you just not learn the theories, the philosophies and principles, but also leadership and management skills, diba? It might be some of you maging heads or chair ng isang program kagaya ng TLE, di ba? Or Tibet, something like that. So, yun ang masasabi ko. Kasi after I finish my doctorate, akala ko madali na sa akin lahat. Sa totoo lang, this is what I've learned from my dean also. He taught me na Kenji, mas kasi 'di ba pag nagtitake kayo ng mga subjects or subjects or courses sa masteral or doctoral or maging doctoral pa man yan, 'di ba? Per subject meron siyang 3 or 6 units depende sa tinitake mong program. Ang totoong masteral or doctoral is after you finish or you earn the degree. Kasi halimbawa, pagkatapos nito, bibigyan ka ng special assignment, designation, or task. It's panibagong units naman yan. At the same time, para ka din nag-aaral. Kasi iba na din yung plan mo eh. Iba na din yung direction mo eh. Yung track na tinatahak mo. And this time, yung mga natutunan mo sa PhD, masteral, is parang application mo na yan. Diba? Nung nag-aaral ka, those are theories and principles. Parang, now that you're ahead now, or may special assignment ka, or you're doing research, or actively involved ka sa isang outreach activities, may 3 units or 6 units ka mahigit. So that's the reality na maraming opportunity pero may kaakibat siyang responsibility. So hopefully this batch or group sana, kasi yung nag-graduate ngayon sa MAIE, isa or dalawa lang eh. If I'm not mistaken. And ang tawag dito, before, during my time, si Sir Kalya kabash ko siya sa MAIE. We graduated 2011. And madami na din kayo masasabi ko. 11 kami. 20 ata kaming pumasok. Around 2009 ba? 2009 or 10. And we finished that siguro. Matagal din. 3 years din yung ginugol namin. And nagtapos kami, we are 11 or 12, something like that. And don't you know, trivia lang hindi ko, not to brag, even Sir Kalya, our program advisor, is a good friend of mine. Don't you know, si Sir Kalya po is the most outstanding graduate sa masteral degree during our time. And up to after that, wala nang sumunod eh. Imagine mo, Master of Arts in Nursing, Master in Filipino, lahat na may mga masteral program, Sir Kalya po yung nag-stand out, yung ating program advisor. Okay. And ngayon, you heard it right. Ang nagtapos sa MAIE, I think TLE po yung nag-graduate ngayon. I'm not sure sa MAIE IT. Only 1 or 2 siguro. And last week also, sabi ko sa inyo, marami kaming ganap ngayon for the past days and up to this time, meron pa din. Nag-evaluate kami ng mga nag-take ng compre. By the way, siguro starting karamihan pa lang sa inyo I observed three applicants or students took the compre and nagdaan sa amin. Unfortunately, 1 out of 3 just passed the comprehensive examination. Okay? Let me remind you, class, na from the term compre, diba? Comprehensive examination. Diba? You have to discuss, you need to present a discourse, You need to justify, you need to add legal basis or supporting evidences about the questions na nabasa mo. I'm giving you tips kasi si Sir Kenji po nag-check din ng mga results ng mga students na nag-take ng compre. This is siguro ay piece of advice sa inyo. If you're going to take compre po, basahin yung mabuti yung instruction. Okay? Ang exam po sa compre, it's not an objective type. Hindi po siya identification, hindi po siya enumeration. You have to present, you have to discuss in details everything that you know. Based on the students who took the compre, hindi po nila sinunod yung instructions. It's essential. Unang-una, if you're taking any type of exam, you need to follow instructions. Okay? Or else you get 0, or in other words, you fail the exam. You will fail the exam. Okay? When I read or browsed the content of their answers, I'm sorry to say, hindi naman ako magaling mag-English. Okay? Kahit pa paano, hindi, I'm sorry to say this, hindi quality yung pagkakasulat Hindi well justified, hindi well explained. Okay. That's why I'm encourage you to read CHED memos, legal basis, articles concerning about education, and read news or stay updated with the present status of our educational system, with the students, with your organization or program. Okay? Kasi hindi po kada compre ganun pa rin yung content ng exam. Okay? Nagbabago po yan, depende sa trend. Dapat as teachers or faculty, dapat aware ka sa call or sa needs now that we're still in the pandemic, and ano yung mga updates. Dapat aware ka din kasi minsan yun ang lumalabas sa compre. You need to stay updated with what is happening. Lalong-lalo na yung mga may kinalaman sa mga programa, sa issues ng ating educational system. Okay? Yung sumagot kasi, may isang tanong doon na I don't want to discuss in details, na sinagutan niya, instead na in a paragraph or in a narrative form, ang nilagay niya doon is just enumeration. Okay. Take note, the exam is comprehensive. Okay. Dapat explain mo. Justify an answer. Ito, binibigyan ko yun ng tipa. Kapag may tanong, lagay nyo ng legal basis, lagay nyo ng support evidence, okay, articles or scientific findings or studies, para ma-convince ninyo yung reader or yung mag-evaluate ng exam. Okay. So, yan. Yan ang update ko sa inyo. And after, and let me, again, we only have 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks left before this semester ends. Okay. I hope you are halfway through with your project. I hope everyone is cooperating and nagko-contribute sa para mabuo yung DIY dispenser natin. Because as I've said, you will going to evaluate that after. And it could be in a form of a testimonial video or a feedback from your respondents. Okay? So, may I ask, since na pag-usapan natin yung compre, isa pang rule kasi dun too much erasures. Ang daming erasures yung isang tiyanegan ko. Hanggat maaari, refrain from erasures. Instead na, 'di ba sentences or paragraph, instead na i-crease out mo 'yan, madaming X, put it align na lang. Or ask the proctor if allow ba gumamit ng white, ano yun? Yung white out or correction fluid. I don't know if it's allowed eh. During my time, di kami ata pinagamit eh. And isa pa, tip ko sa inyo class, ito, effective to kasi when I took the exam, kahit hindi ko sure yung answer, punuin nyo yung papel. This time yung batch, nagtaka ako, yung hindi mabibitin ka sa thought na sinulat niya eh. Kasi parang half of the size of the bond paper lang tapos yung isa bakante na. Ang technique dyan, punuin nyo. Anything that comes into your mind, expand yan. Another thing that I would like to share is expound your thoughts. If hindi nyo siya ma-explain, give examples or situation. Diba? Halimbawa, though hindi ito lumabas sa kompre, what is your idea about knowledge-based economy? Isa sa mga exam na naalala ko sa kompre, lalo na sa foundation. I know may mga foundation courses kayo, right? So, yun. And sa foundation course, lumalabas dyan lagi yung mga philosophies. Okay? Don't forget about that. What philosophies, give at least 3 or 4 philosophy. Who is the proponent, author, and how will you apply it sa inyong status mo ngayon as a teacher ka or educator ka? Bawa, classroom management. What type of philosophy ang pwede mong gamitin? Halimbawa, ako, I'm teaching electronics technology. Ang pwede kong i-adapt is constructivism. Yeah, madaming authors. There are well-known psychologists or educators na nag-adapt. Pwedeng gamitin yung pragmatism. Pragmatism kasi means practical. Kasi ako sa totoo lang, I'm a practical type of person. Ayoko yung mga pasikot-sikot. I'm direct to the point. Be direct and just be specific. It's like I'm also a research professor. That's why my students, in preparing their manuscript, just be direct and specific. Okay. You don't need to too much introductory, maraming pasakalye just to thicken your paper. Ayun, magagawa kayo ng paper, right? Sa inyong master's thesis. And back up nyo siya ng mga related literatures kasi that will be your backbone. Para walang madaming questions sa inyo. Yan, tinuturuan ko na kayo ni advance ha. Do ang subject natin is electronics and electrical technology. These are some tips kasi to be honest lang, I'm quite dismayed or disappointed. Bako man masyado disappointed kasi is this what the new generation or batch ng nagwa-masters ngayon na nag-compre? Ito yung sagot nila. Pasensya na, hindi ako magaling mag-English pero I can comprehend po yung mga sagot. Medyo po out of this world yung mga answers nila and some of them doesn't know how to follow. Sana wag nyo yung gagawin po. Okay? Kasi nakakaya. Totoo lang. Professionals po tayo pero namin medyo may pagkaprangka ako pero that output is quite elementary yung approach sa akin. I'm sorry to say this, the plastic totoo lang ako. Kaya wag nyo sanang pag sinabing compre po, hindi po siya hindi po siya enumeration lang. Wala lamang definition. Halimbawa, ingredients. Gumawa ka ng isang, I don't know who asked that kind of question. Basta ang naalala ko about a recipe, tapos ano yung mga ingredients and para saan yung gagamitin. Kasi alam ko mga subject you will undergo that sa TLE, yung sa foods. Kasi alam ko dito karamihan sa atin mga may inclined sa foods ang ano. That was the question. Ang ginawa, enumerate lang, binigay yung mga ingredients tapos. And that's not compre. Okay? Saka huwag niyong lagyan ng mga letters, numbers. Dapat sa comprehensive exam, narrative in paragraph form. And Ang kung anong mga ilalagay ninyo una, ito na yung technique ha, binibigyan ko na kayo ng pagkakataon. Lagyan nyo siya lagi, pinakauna. Ano ba yung basis niya? Okay. Ano ba yung, halimbawa, di ba yung question is about philosophies na ginagamit sa classroom? Give me one. Constructivism. Sino yung kilala mong gumagamit niyan na either philosopher or psychologist? And ano specific ang gamit niya? Then to expound further, cite an example, a situation. Doon may ikot yung kwento. Habang binabasa ng reader, magigets niya yung thought mo. Ganun lang. Punuin mo yung papel. Huwag yung... Kasi, meron kayong booklet doon kayo magte-take. And since medyo, na tayo, little by little, we're going back to normal. Face-to-face na po yung exam. Unlike nung nakaraan, online, but this time po face-to-face na. Okay? So much more for the compre, graduation. Just an update po. Okay? And another update pa that I would like to share is this coming first sem. Sir Calleja, our program advisor, the MAIE, told me that I will be one of the evaluator for this incoming freshman batch or new students sa MAIE. And don't you know na yung i-admit namin, before we admit around 35, yun ang pinaka-maximum, 20, 25, 35, something like that. By this time, ang applicants, I think, nakita ko yung hawak-hawak ni Sir Chan na papel last time Parang isang rim, kalahati ng rim ng, ay medyo, hindi naman, basta makapal yung makapal yung hawak niyang papel These are student applicants na gusto mag-aral ng MAIE. So, ganyan yung demand. Diba? And, diba, I think you're aware naman particularly those who are working in DepEd, parang there is a law ni before the former president si Duterte about sa rank position ng DepEd ng mga teachers. Am I right? Please confirm po. Tama po ba? May bagong policy ba? Anyone from this group? Hello, am I still audible?
Meron po, sir.
Ma'am Jane, thank you po. Tama ba, ma'am? Kumbaga, di ba hanggang 3, tapos ngayon parang dinagdagan? Do you have any idea, ma'am? Can you share it?
Teacher 1 to 7 daw po, sir.
Wow, grabe, haba.
Okay.
Dati, ma'am, teacher 1 to 3 lang, ano? Tama ba?
Yes po, sir.
Grabe
Tapos ngayon po, yung sabi doon, sir, mawawala na ata yung head teacher 3. Kasi from teacher 1 to 7 na ang ranking.
Let's see, ang teacher 1, ma'am, salary grade 12. Tama ba? 11?
11 po, sir.
11, tapos ang 7, salary grade. Do you have any idea?
Hindi ko po kasi, sir, na masyado yung memo. Pero parang lang yung gap ng mga sahod, sir. Malalapit lang po.
See. Tapos, ma'am, teacher 1 to 7, may master teacher pa. Diba sunod dyan, master teacher?
Yun na po ata, sir, yung sunod. Master teacher.
Pero, so ibig sabihin, ang daming pagdadaanan pala, para din sa amin. Pero, mas kwan sa inyo ang master teacher, ma'am, hanggang 3. Or, dinagdagan din. Idea ka, anybody like to share? Yes, ma'am. Ma'am Jen ulit. May idea ka po?
Hindi ko po sure, sir, kung nadagdagan yung pero yung latest ko pong alam, parang 3.
Sige. So, parang gano'n ata yung latest ngayon. That's why, kaya pala marami kami ngayong applicants. sa MAIE, sa TLE. So, andun kasi yung demand na na na-observe ko din marami pa ring kulang tayo ng mga TLE teachers. Kaya yung mga technology graduates kagaya ng electronics, electrical, um, kumukuha din ng kagaya kay Ma'am Jopel, kumuha ng CPT para makapagturo sa high school or even sa college. Okay? Kaya because of the demands for technology teachers katulad natin. Okay. So yun po ang update ko regarding sa ating about sa graduation, pre-exam, and then yung sa ranking, diba? And sa amin kasi sa college, ganun pa rin. Structure 1 yung starting until 3. 3 tapos assistant, associate, and then professor. So yun pinakamahirap if you are aiming for professorship, may tatawag tayong professorship. If you're kagaya ko, I'm associate professor. Pwedeng mga years to come, pwedeng mag-advance ako from ASO to prof. Pero bago ka dumaan ng yung professorship is you need to pay a certain amount, and nasa 10,000 ata, 10 or 15,000. So yun pa ang kwan sa amin, parang policy din. And then mag-evaluate sa'yo is yung mga presidents ng mga SUCs. So ganun yung struggle or yung difficulty just to be promoted and to aim that position. Okay? So before we proceed with yung kwan natin sa continuation of our next step of the circuits, may I ask or may I know first the status of your project? Can I hear it from the leaders? I think andito lang ata si Sir Jonel. Andito pala si Ma'am Vasquez. Ma'am Vasquez, are you around po?
Yes po, sir.
Sige. Can we start from you? Can you give us an update po of the project? Are there any problems or concerns? Sige po.
Ano, sir, hindi pa po kami nakakahanap nung chip po for charger po. Sa charging po, baga, sir.
Yung tawag dito, yung charging module ba, ma'am? Yung parang...
Opo. Opo,
okay.
Sir.
Meron siya, ma'am, sa online store, sa Shopee.
Sige po. Naghanap po kasi kami, sir, sa Legazpi, wala man po.
Wala yan, ma'am,
Yun lang po yung kulang.
Yan lang po, ma'am, problema. Pag charging tip, wala siya talaga. Kasi kailangan i-order mo siya kasi kwan yan module yan
Opo, sir.
So order ka, mura lang po yan, ma'am. Mura lang yan na charging module. Okay. So anong plano nyo, ma'am? Gagamit kayo ng battery, yung rechargeable battery, or yung pang vape na battery, or yung ang tawag doon, yung malaki, yung lithium ion battery.
Alin po, sir, ang pinaka-advisable mo po, sir, na gamitin? Wala pa po. Yun lang po na dalawa ang wala namin po.
Ang advice ko sa iyo, ma'am, nakadepende yan sa module, yung sinasabi mo. Ang maganda sana, ma'am, ang style niya, yung bibilin module, yung parang sa cellphone, yung may Type-C na port. Kasi hindi ka nabibili ng battery. Kasi doon may dadaan. Kailangan pala ng battery pa rin. Kailangan mo ng battery pa rin. Okay. Or pwede, ang pinakamadali, ma'am, is yung adapter. Okay, yung adapter po ang gagamitin mo. Kasi hindi ka nakabibili ng module. Kumbaga,
okay lang po, sir, kung yung adapter na lang, wala na yung battery.
Pwede naman po, ma'am. Pwede po siya.
Sige po.
Okay.
Okay na po. Kung okay lang po na wala na yung battery tsaka yung sa pag-charge, okay na po yung sa amin.
Pero,
madali na po.
Opo. Pero make sure, ma'am, yung wire niya mahaba. Kasi, di ba may stand siya? May stand yung kuha ninyo. Opo. Kasi yung previous output, nakita nyo, di ba, yung binigay kong sample, maikli yung saksakan.
Opo.
Medyo pabain natin yung outlet papunta sa kuha. Okay?
Opo, sir.
Thank you,
Sige po.
ma'am.
Thank you po.
Pero ma'am, may I ask, how was your members po regarding sa kanilang assignment or task? And how do you pala organize or meet or communicate with one another?
Bale po, sir, yung sa members po namin,
Mhm.
nagmi-meet po kami once na may bibilhin. Siyempre po, kasama po yung pinaka naka-assign. And then, siya po yung and part ng help po, yung pwede po isumasama. And then, may GC din po, sir, para sa communication po. And pagdating po sa materials and yung sa technical report, through GC din po ang communication namin.
So far po, yung mga members natin, nakaka-contribute naman po ba? Are they having difficulty also or okay naman po?
Okay naman po, sir, nakaka-contribute po lahat and gumagalaw po lahat.
Mhm. Sige. If ganito naman, for consideration, isipin nyo naman, alam ko may mga aside from sa project, may mga learning tasks or activities kayo. If you couldn't make it, if you couldn't make it sa 23, since dan po yung last meeting natin, I can extend naman po. Kasi i-evaluate nyo pa siya ipapa-evaluate nyo siya. Bibigyan ko kayo ito last chance ko, bigyan ko kayo ng 1 week, another 1 week. Para tapusin nyo yung project. Okay? Kasi alam ko naman na ang iba sa atin, kahit naka-vacation mode po, or ang iba sa atin may work pa rin. Diba? So, for consideration po, i-adjust natin yung schedule. Bigyan ko kayo ng 1 week. Okay? Okay lang ba sa inyo? Or ayaw nyo ata?
Thank you po, sir.
Sige. Pero, pag sinabi kong extension, I expect a good quality output. Kasi, ano ba yung napag-usapan natin? It's either i-donate natin sa school or i-donate natin yan sa Ginobatan Municipal Jail or sa BGMP. Diba? Kasi, if you watch if there's a recent video, it's a local news sa social media about sa ginagawang projects sa Busit, yung sa BGMP Tabaco. One of our faculty who is the head of the project, in the name of Sir Jun Piñol, he is a BID faculty, the program advisor. May ginagawa silang project na tinatawag na parang basura ko, parang the waste can be turned into a new product. Parang upcycling yung concept. Diba? Yung mga pinaglumaan na yung ginamit dati ng mga tarpaulin during the election can now be converted into bags and other forms of na pwedeng any project na out of tarpaulin. So it was reported in a local news na many PDLs or persons deprived of liberty earn extra money because of the project. They learn how to sew, how to make a tangible or a good product out of the tarpaulin. So I'm very proud to say na yung si Sir June is as the faculty of Busit also come up with that idea, and then later on yung idea yung nagamit niya. So kami naman po sa Electronics and Electrical Technology, magkakaroon din kami ng extension project wherein part of our beneficiaries are the PDLs also. Pero yung sa amin is sa BGMP sa Ginobatan. So tuturuan namin sila ng electrical and electronics, and yung mga natutunan nila, yung skills, pwede nila magamit. Let's say kapag malaya na sila, yung mga pwede sila matuto mag house wiring or mag kumpuni ng mga appliances para makatulong din sa kanila na bigyan sila ng chance na maging productive din citizens or members of the society once they are free. Okay? So yun ang goal namin, and perhaps gumawa din sila ng sarili nilang dispenser. Yung gagawin ninyo, i-donate namin doon, saka ituturo din namin sa kanila kung paano nila buuin yung project. So expect kasi yung output nyo sana ipapakita ko sa kanila and ipapagamit din namin sa kanila. Okay? So I expect sa group na to, sa batch na to, na to come up with a tangible, a good product for this na yung ginawa ninyo in good hands po, magagamit din and mapapakinabangan po ng nangangailangan. And then mabigyan sila ng idea din na gumawa din nun, and it could be turned into a livelihood or for possible income para makatulong din sa pamilya nila. Okay? So how about Sir Junel? Are you busy? Can I speak? May I speak with you?
Yes po, sir. Not busy anymore po.
Sige po.
Topic lang po, sir. Sa materials, sir, wala naman kami masyadong nakitang problema. Kasi most of our materials, especially electronic components, are purchased online. Meron pong na-order sa Shopee na set na mismo yung DIY alcohol dispenser. Tapos, yung other materials such as Sintra board, available naman po siya sa educational stores. Kaya wala pong problema. And sa tasking naman po, wala rin pong problema. Lahat naman po gumagawa. And we are actually finalizing na lang yung technical report. Nag-gather na lang po kami ng information and yung documentation. And lastly po, tapos na kami ng product for evaluation na lang po.
Okay, good to hear. But sir, I have some concerns. Okay lang ba? Can I give my opinion or suggestion regarding sa ginagawa niyong project? Sir, I heard you will be using Centra board, right?
Yes.
And I know how affordable yung Centra board and yung strength ng However, sir, I'm concerned on the strength of material because we will be using that or gagamitin nila yan in the long run or medyo, 'di ba? Yung durability ng Centra board or yung kanya kasi based on experience, there was a group na kasi when I handled the course I think last year or during my nung nag-submit sila ng dispenser gamit yung Centra board, madali na sira. Okay, because of the material. And then pag nabasa yan ang concern ko. Pero can you speak of can you think of another material perhaps na pwede nyo gamitin? Take note yung gagawin natin na project, hindi po yung basta-basta project. Something na pwede nating masabi na produkto na mismo. Diba? Yung something na talagang gagamitin nila. Hindi lang for the purpose of, hindi po ito parang high school project or college project. Something po na magagamit talaga in the long run, in the long possible time. Hindi sa pagiging demanding ako kasi ang point ko lang is something na magagamit nila in the long run po. So I don't know if there are any materials, pero I'll still let you decide. I'm not saying na okay, stop na paggamit ng Centra board. Hindi pa ako ganun. It's up to you pa rin as the team. Okay? Basta ang point ko lang is something na yung materials niya durable po. Hindi po basta-basta masisira. Okay? Sige po. Anything you would like to add more or share sa ginagawa ninyong project so far, Sir Junel?
So far, sir, wala namang sir masyado. Yung feature namin, yung basic lang po, direct lang po siya sa saksakan using the charger.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos mahaba naman po yung connector. 2 meters long yung connector.
Nasa ko na ba kayo? Did you completely assess the materials or na-kompleto niyo na ba? Hindi pa.
Not yet pa po.
Okay.
Nasa process pa lang po ng evaluation.
Okay. This thing I would like you to share, not only kay Sir Ascucha but kila Ma'am Vasquez, regarding sa pag-release ng pag-dispense ng alcohol. Kasi during the trial and error phase, regarding sa nozzle, kasi makonsumo kasi pag malaki yung butas, makonsumo yan, right? Okay. Pwedeng gamitan nyo po ng, yung sinasabi ko ba, yung ball pen or something na parang cone shape just to control. Kasi di ba yung mga dispenser, hindi yung masyadong malakas yung pressure pero ang nilalabas konti lang.
Konti lang.
Opo. Isa pa, take attention sa IR sensor module. Okay. Sige, i-share ko sa inyo yung details para magets ninyo. So, thank you Sir Junel for sharing or for giving us the update of your the group's project. So, ang mini-main ko po eto. Una pag-usapan natin yung module. Teka, nawala. So, balik tayo. So, share ko muna. Nakikita po ba, class? Hello? Please confirm.
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ito yung infrared or IR avoidance or daming term nito. IR, infrared avoidance obstacle sensor module. Something like that. So, ito yung in order to control the distance, parang may pinipihit siya dito na kulay blue. Okay? Kasi if you're going to look at the specifications or data sheet ng module na to, nasa 5 or 10 centimeters ang range niya. Double check po or correct me if I'm wrong. And para ma-adjust po yung distance niya ng sensing, ito po yung pinipihit natin. You can use a small screwdrivers. Phillips po yung gagamitin niya, yung may cross. Diba? Para ma-adjust yung distance niya. Consider po yung connection. This infrared sensor module has 3 terminals. Isa yung output, yung dito lalagyan nyo ng resistor. Ito naman yung ground. Ang ground kasi di ba sinabi ko na last time yung polarity, positive and negative. Sa mga components kasi kagaya ng mga module, lalo na if you're using Arduino, ang ginagamit kasi is yung GND and BCC. Ang GND is ground or common or it's the negative terminal. Ang BCC naman is the positive or the plus. Diyan yung kasi itong module is polarized to meron siyang positive and negative. Okay? So yan po ina-adjust natin. Okay, kasi ang iba kasi kapag in-adjust to or pinihit ito, minsan pag insert mo ay pag sense ng kamay, pag na-sense ng kamay, minsan hindi na control yung pag-off ng dispenser. Or minsan sensitive din. Biglang mag-release pero biglang parang konti lang yung drops niya. Okay? So, last time 'di ba, I share you a video about the how to make automatic hand washing machine. I don't know if dito nakuha nila Sir Junel yung idea ng using of a central board. Nakikita po ba na? Dash, nakikita po ba? Please confirm po.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ito yung sample video na binigay ko sa inyo. Okay. So, yan. Identify ko anong gagamitin yung container. Saka dyan yung ilalagay yung nozzle or butas. Ay, nozzle or yung hose. Okay. Some of the materials po can be found locally gaya ng submersible pump. By the way, saan nyo ba nabili yung submersible pump? In-order nyo ba? I think kila Sir Ascucha ata in-order nila. Sa inyo, Ma'am Vasquez?
Sir, sa Shopee po.
Same din. Okay. Thank you. Sige. Ito yung Centra board. Maganda yung Centra board din Malinis tingnan. Pero, medyo kan siya hindi siya masyadong yung it is not good for enclosure. For presentation purposes, pwede nyo siyang gamitin. Kaso gagamitin to in the long run sa matagal na panahon. So, I suggest, hindi advisable yung, lalo na kung ilalagay ito sa labas. Diba? Ito yung orientation ng kanilang container ng alcohol, saka yung, if you watch the video, dito nilagay yung obstacle sensor or module. Okay? So, yan po ang ating IR. So, may tatlong terminal siya, and di ba yung pula, kinabit niya sa positive, and yung isa naman is the negative or the GND or ground. Okay. So, ikuan kayo sa terminal sa connection. So, yan yung resistor, papunta siya sa output. Okay. So, yan sinasabi kong the process of joining metals, which is the soldering. Sige. Ito yung, I think ito hinahanap ata nila ma'am na tip 32C transistor. Okay. Please be careful with the connections and make sure. Isa pa class na titingnan ko sa project ninyo is how you assemble the wiring. Okay. Para malinis po, you can use yan po, cable tie. Okay. Para malinis yung wiring ninyo, or gamitan nyo siya ng 8-string tube. Yan po. Ito pong black. Okay. Para makover yung ewan ko kung na-cover ba to. Pero it would be better na lagyan nyo ng covering yung pagkasolder ninyo ng component. Para secured yung connection niya. Okay. Ito yung sinasabi ko po na parang tip ng ballpen. Okay? Para yung dispense niya hindi po makonsumo sa alcohol. Okay, in-advance ko na para makita natin. So, even the switching po, yan po. Ito po yung sinasabi kong lithium-ion battery na mabibili, you can buy this sa Hong. Meron nito. Ito yung sinasabi siguro ni Ma'am Vasquez na module na for charging. Ito kasi order-based to and kailangan niya ng battery. Ito, just in case po na mayroong power interruption or di ba? You can use this, but based on your feedback kanina, i-direct nyo siya sa adapter. So, yan yung schematic or circuit diagram niya. Okay? Just be guided kung paano yung i-connect yung output niya, i-connect nyo sa resistor. Don't worry, yung resistor po na it is an axial. Ito yung may both ends. So, walang problema ito sa polarity. Kahit saan mo siya ilagay, okay lang. Okay, kahit baliktarin mo to, okay lang. Ang i-consider naman natin is yung connection niya sa transistor. So, hanapin niyo yung base, collector, and emitter. I think I presented naman kung paano kinonect yung sa ating material. Yung galing sa output ng resistor papunta ng transistor. Okay, as well as the connection sa pump and then sa ating source which is 5 volts. Take note mababa yung hindi masyadong makonsume itong project na to kasi ang kailangan lang natin is around 5 volts. 5, 6, pwede po yan. Para just to mapagana natin yung project. Okay? And i-consider nyo lang po yung method of how you're going to lock. Sana madaling buksan, accessible, na hindi makakuha yung alcohol. Mag-leak or patapon. Okay. Saka isa pa, ang problema kasi ng central board, kapag may base ka dyan sa ilalim, and yung alcohol, if you're going to dispense marami alcohol sa central board, hihina po siya. Masisira po yung ating central board. Okay? Dapat mas durable yung material na gagamitin natin. Pwedeng plywood, pwedeng, I don't know, if you're going to use a aluminum. It depends. Nasa inyo pa rin. Okay, gawa nyo ng paraan just to make sure na secured yung inyong alcohol and then yung circuitry ng device. Okay? So, yan ang ating DIY alcohol dispenser project. Okay? So, class, are there any questions or clarifications concerning about the project? Especially the leaders, ma'am and sir? Am I still audible?
Yes,
Yes.
po.
Okay. So, ma'am, do you have any questions or clarifications po?
Wala na po, sir. Okay na po.
Sir.
Okay. Sige. Thank you. So, this time, we will, yes, Sir Junel?
Meron lang pa ako, sir, na i-share about dun sa sensor.
Sige po.
Yung sensor, sir, medyo sensitive siya pag medyo madaming reflection na na-receive.
Yeah, I agree. Saka, kaya that's why, pag-isipan ninyo, pag-aralan nyo kung paano nyo i-orient yung kung saan nyo kakabit. Kasi kung siya kasi ang sensor kasi sa light yan di ba? Yung infrared Okay.
Yes po, sir. Medyo hindi siya tumitigil pag medyo maliwanag, sir. Yung
Yes.
sunlight. Patuloy-tuloy, sir, sa mag-dispense. Pag
Mm-mm.
medyo maliwanag yung area.
Lalo na kapag nasa stage kayo na kino-construct nyo or ina-assemble yung project. Kaya bago nyo siya tawag dito, ilagay sa isang enclosure, i-test nyo muna. Kaya mag-adjust ka mo ng kanya baga. Yung pinakita ko sa inyo, yung parang may screw. Diba? Yung screw na kulay blue. Doon kayo mag-a-adjust. Saka yung paano i-orient yung tawag dito. Kung it's either downward, upward, vertical, horizontal. Pag-isipan nyo mabuti. So, that's the challenge also. Kasi akala nila, lalo na kapag bago yung project, madali lang tong gawin or assemble. Pero in reality, you will undergo challenges. Yan So, that's the good thing. That's the challenging part sa electricity and electronics. Okay? So, any other observations, Sir Jonel, maliban doon, regarding sa sensor?
Wala naman po, sir. Doon lang po, sir, nagka-problema yung adjustment ng sensor.
Saka ito pa, wag nyo masyadong sagadin yung pihit. And tama yung I agree with you na isa sa mga pinakadelikadong or makahinayang na part na sa ginagawa yung project is yung module. Madali po yun masira. Lalong-lalo na po, since you are ordering that sa online, may tinatawag tayo class ng mga clone. Mga clone na module or circuits. Kasi po class, kagaya din ng mga produkto ng tawag dito, mga ibang produkto, may mga parang ginagaya din, kinakopy na technology. Kasi kagaya ng mga sapatos, ng mga damit, di ba na nakakopya na yan. Even sa electronics sa amin, mga technology, nagpipeke na din, nakaklone. Kagaya ng mga bag, kaya ng Gucci, ng Hermes, mga something like that. Di ba nagpipeke yan? Ganyan din sa amin sa electronics. Ang tawag din sa amin mga clone. Mga clone modules or circuit. And yung mga clone kasi, pag madali yan masira, ay hindi yan yung original. Okay? Lalo na kapag napihit mo masyado yung kanya, yung adjustment niya ng distance. You need to carefully use that module while assembling the project. Okay? So, since there are no more questions or clarifications about the dispenser, hope you can make it as a schedule natin, as the original schedule natin, which is 23. Or if not, pwede naman po extend natin ng isa pang week. Okay? For consideration. So, let us now proceed with our continuation on circuits as our topic last Friday. Okay, before we proceed, i-share ko pala muna tong material. Let's go back. Okay, share the window. Okay, class, nakikita na po ba? Please confirm.
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. So, last time, ito po yung activity natin, right? Regarding sa, di ba napag-usapan natin, isa sa mga topics sa circuits is about analog and digital electronics. We're already defined, explain sa inyo kung ano bang analog and digital electronics. But this time, yung topic natin na focus more on digital electronics. We're talking about the true the binary conversion, the binary operation. Okay? If you can still remember, ang interpretation ng digital, it's either 1 or 0, diba? True or false, low or high, on and off. Diba? Kung sa atin, for example, yung letter A, diba? We know what letter A is all about, the shape, and paano natin siya isulat or i-type. Sa computer po, iba yung interpretation niya. Diba? That's why we have the American Standard for Computer Information Interchange or the ASCII. Yung ASCII, yung A to Z. At sa binary, iba po yung kanyang operation or interpretation. Okay? Dahil lang po class, I think there's a call. Dahil lang po. Hello? Am I still audible? Yes. Let's confirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you can still remember po, di ba? Ito yung saan tayo natapos? Letter S na ba yun, ma'am? Sir? Nalala nyo pa ba? So, ito yung kanyang equivalent binary code. So, R is 0101110. Pagdating sa S, it's 0101111. So, tingnan nyo yung difference dito. Okay? So, kailangan kasi pairali natin yung logic. And take note, sa digital electronics, ang interpretation niya, it's more on 1 and 0. Walang 2 or 3. That's how you interpret a process or operations. So, the rest, okay? Pakita ko na sa inyo, I'm going to reveal now the answers. Ito yung text to binary conversion table natin. Okay? So, ano ba tong sinasabi kong 1 and 0 sa digital electronics? Have you heard of the term Boolean algebra? Diba? Boolean algebra, no? So, it's a division of mathematics that deals with the operations. Deals with operations on logical values and incorporates binary variables. It's kumbaga itong Boolean algebra, it's a special branch of algebra na ginagamit sa digital electronics. If you're going to recall naman yung history, in 1854, sa libro ni mathematician George Boole. So, kaya nakuha natin yung term na Boolean algebra. So, So, these are variables represented as binary numbers. Kumbaga, yung interpretation lang niya or represented truths niya are 1, which is true, and 0, which is false. So, ito yung, it's a special branch in algebra which is mostly used, I'm sorry, mostly used in digital electronics. To further understand what I am saying, I'm going to share an illustration about the Boolean algebra na commonly ginagamit sa logic circuits. Logic circuits isa sa mga interesting topics sa electronics. Higher na to eh. Mas complex to sa electronics. Sige. Ito po yung tinatawag nating logic gates. So, ano ba yung sinasabi nating logic gates? So, pag sinabi natin logic gate class, these are device. Okay. These are a device that acts, ito yung building blocks of a circuit. Okay. You can see symbols, right? These are what we call logic gate symbol na nagperform basic logical functions. As I've said, in digital electronics, in Boolean algebra, it represents truth. Ano yung truth sa kanila? 1 and 0. Okay? So they perform a basic logical functions that are fundamental to digital circuits. Most electronic devices we use today will have some form of logic gates in them. For example, logic gates can be used in technologies such as mobile phones, tablets, or within memory devices. So, any gadgets or devices na meron siyang memory is meron siyang pinagagamitan ng logic gate. So, for example, in a circuit class, logic gates will make decisions. That's how a computer or how a machine or digital electronics decides. Okay. Based on a combination of digital signals coming from its inputs. Okay. Halimbawa, looking at the picture, for example, N or XOR, NOR, these are gates or logic gate symbol. You will notice, ang logic gates may dalawang parts yan. Itong dalawang bar na to, these are what we call inputs, and yung isang bar sa outside, ito after this is what we call output. So, ang logic gates consists of 2 inputs and 1 output. So, ginagamit ang logic gates for decision making. Okay? Decision making based on the combination of digital signals na galing sa inputs. So, as I've said, logic gates have 2 inputs and 1 output. Ang logic gates po based on Boolean algebra or which has 2 binary conditions, either true or false or 1 or 0. Meaning to say, pag false po, it represents 0 and 1 naman po, it represents true. Pero it depends. Depends on the type of logic gate. Kasi if upon looking at the picture, meron tayong N or XOR, NAND, or depende yan sa klase ng logic gates. Kung anong input niya, the output will also vary or differ. Kumbaga, a logic gate class can be like a light switch. We're in one position, the output is off, which is equals to 0, and in another, it is on, therefore 1. Kumbaga, ang off is 0. Pag in-off mo yung light switch, naka-0 siya. So, meaning it's false. Diba? Once it is turned on, it becomes 1, which is, diba? And logic gates ay ginagamit siya talaga sa mga integrated circuits or ICs. Kaya yung mga mobile devices ninyo, maliban sa mga components, kagaya ng resistor, capacitor, okay, meron siyang tinatawag tayong chip or the memory. Okay, wherein doon ginagamit yung logic gates. Okay, so let's look back at the picture po. For example, yung AND gate natin or AND gate natin, diba? Ang output niya, example dalawang 0, A and B, both 0, the output will be 0. Same with OR gate. AB output, 0, 0, ang output niya 0. The XOR gate po, same din. So, NOR and XOR gate, zeros, both of them, pag both 0 ang input, ang output niya 0. Okay? Second column ba to, row, pag ang AB po ng NOR and XOR, yung A is 0, yung B niya is 1, definitely, I know, sa N pala, yung if A is 0, B is 1, ang output niya is 0. But in the case of OR and XOR gate, if 0 ang A, 1 ang B, ang output niya is 1. As well as XOR gate. Okay? So again, based on what I've said, it depends on what type of gate ang ginagamit. So yan yung iba-iba nating logic gates. Ginagamit siya mostly sa integrated circuits or ICs. That's how Boolean algebra principle will apply. It's a matter of 1 and 0, on and off, true or false. Okay? So there are conditions para maintindihan nyo again kung ano ba ang logic gates and the Boolean algebra. Ang symbols are used to represent in Boolean variables. Example, A and B, C, X, Y, Z. Okay? Kagaya nito kanina. Diba? A and B ang ginamit as presentation. There are three basic logic operations. And, or not. Okay. So, the Boolean operators class are times, plus, and minus. For example, A plus B means A or B. Pasensya no, medyo complicated. But later on, if you're going to watch this video again and analyze, ito yung logic gate operation natin or yung basic operation ng N or NOT. A times B means A and B. A means not A. So that's how Boolean algebra works. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na Boolean variables. Halimbawa, inputs niya, since ang logic gates may dalawang inputs, pwedeng A and B na ilagay, X and Y. And ang logic gates, meron siyang basic logic operations. We have the N or and not. Okay? Ito yung basic And nodes in a circuit are represented by Boolean variables. Okay. So that's how we were able to distinguish analog from digital electronics. Okay. So another topic that I would like you to present is, I know you are familiar to this, is the another two types of circuit. Okay. So, when you look at the picture, the top part is picture A and the next part is picture B. Anyone from this group would like to tell me or to identify alin po dito yung series and parallel? Yes?
Sir, yung nasa una, yung nasa top yung series, and then yung nasa baba yung parallel.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Glaze. Tama, si Ma'am Glaze ba to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pasensya na, I'm using a PowerPoint. Hindi ko kasi makita yung nasa aking yung nasa Google Meet. Okay, Ma'am. Bakit, Ma'am, sa tingin mo, yung picture A is the series and yung sa baba naman yung parallel?
Ano po, kasi yung parang yung series, pag alam ko, pag nasira yung pag Yung sa series ata yun na pag nasira yung isa, hindi na siya gagana. Then once doon naman doon sa parallel, for example, yung kunwari, yung bulb niya, may sira yung isa, gagana pa rin siya. Parang ganun po.
Okay. You get the logic. You get the point. Thank you, ma'am, for
Thank
sharing.
you po.
Okay. So, I agree with Ma'am Gray said na, diba, if nung elementary, tinuro sa atin, kasi alam natin na science kasi napaka broad, complex, dami mong pag-aaralan. Napag-usapan din yung circuit. Diba, way back when we were elementary and even in high school about the concept of electricity. And tama yung observation na yung picture A or yung nasa taas, that is a series circuit. And for example, para maintindihan, 'di ba, pag Christmas, 'di ba, gumagamit tayo ng Christmas decors kagaya ng Christmas lights. 'Di ba? Yung mga old model pa, yung mga parang iba pa yung bulb niya. Pag once na yung isang bombilya pumalya, sira or busted na siya, evidently yung the rest of the lights will not glow or will not diba, hindi na iilaw. And that is a good example of a series. Samantala yung parallel, since iba yung direction or flow niya, diba? Kahit mapundi yung isa, gagana pa rin yung isa. So, correct po. Ito po yung tinatawag nating series and parallel connection. This is a series circuit. To have a clear understanding, let's convert this into a pictorial diagram. Okay? So, yan ang series and ito naman po yung parallel circuit. So, let us define para maintindihan at ma-appreciate ninyo yung pinagkaiba and these two circuits. So, when we say series circuit class, okay, look at the picture below. Ito yung sinabi ni ma'am kanina. Kapag tinanggal mo yung isang bumbilya, affected na lahat. Even nga yung LED type LED type ng mga strips. Diba? Kahit pero ang LED strips ngayon kahit mapundi yung isang ilaw, gagana pa rin yung ilan. Pero may mga local na minsan China-made na strips na talagang pag once na napundi yung isa, hindi nagagana lahat, hindi na magpa-flow. And most of the LED type circuits ngayon ay the strips disposable talaga So dapat extra careful ka kapag nag-i-install ka niyan o magkakabit ka niyan. Hindi naman siya nakakakuryente. Ang point ko lang is yung sensitivity ng mga LEDs, lalo na kapag dinikit mo siya or na-press mo lang yung LED, masisira agad. Okay. Going back, series circuit comprises a path along which the whole current flows through each component. When we say series, there's only one path for the electricity to flow. So upon looking this picture or illustration, once the other bulb is removed, the rest will not light or there is no electricity for it to pass through. Okay? And it's open already. Okay. So ito yung schematic representation ng series. So ito yung resistors, right? And then yung battery natin. So sa Ohm's law makikita natin na yung pag may mga problem solving po tayo na encounter. So makikita niyo sa connection yung R1, R2 and R3. These are individual resistance. Pero if meron kayo nabasang RT, hindi yung RT ha, RT means R total or the total resistance. So yun ang hinahanap. If there is, kasi whether you like it or not, may problem solving tayong gagawin. So hahanapin natin yung value ng resistor in a series and a parallel connection. So since to anticipate po, you can prepare a piece of scratch po or your mobile phone na merong calculator na app or picture. You can just to catch up with the lessons. Okay? Kasi meron tayong may papagawa kong activity mamaya. So, how are we going to compute the resistance of or the total resistance connected in a series circuit? Okay? So, as I've said kanina, the total resistance or the R total or RT in a series circuit is simply the sum of the individual resistances. Meaning to say, class, let's say you have R1, R2, and 3. Ang gagawin mo lang dyan, kapag connected siya in series, you have to add them. Ganun lang kasimple. So here, R total is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on. Depende sa given problem. Kapag 4 or 5, for as long as they are connected in series, i-add mo siya. Ito total mo siya. Okay, so based on the problem, we have 100 as R1, R2 is 82 ohms, and 1 ohms. So, i-add mo lang po siya. Ganun kasimple, and you will get 183 ohms. So, class, that's how you compute the total resistance connected in series. Okay? Sige. But, aside from determining the total resistance, mostly sa mga problem solving sa Ohm's law and related sa electricity and electronics, minsan hinahanap din yung voltage drop. Okay? So, what is voltage drop? Pag sinabi natin class, voltage drop, this is the sudden decrease or the decrease of the electrical potential along the path of a current flowing in an electrical circuit. Okay? Ito yung value ng voltage na dumadaloy sa kada individual resistance. That is what we meant by voltage drop. So if you will notice, kapag yung electricity is nakukonsume or nagpo-flow na, dumadaan na sa resistors, nababawasan po yan. Okay? Kaya doon papasok yung sinasabi nating voltage drop. So, to determine the voltage drop between individual resistors in series, you need to perform these steps. First, you have to compute or add the individual R or resistor values to calculate the overall resistance. Second, you need to calculate the circuit's current, which is the same across all resistors because the circuit has only one wire. So meaning to say, based sa problem, andun yung current, you don't need to add them. So determining the I total or IT, diba? You don't need to add them. Kasi, na-connected siya sa resistor, ay sa series, meaning to say, kung 8 ampere siya or 1 ampere siya, all throughout, 1 ampere siya. Kasi that is the ruling if you're going to compute the total resistance in series connection. Okay. Using Ohm's law, calculate the voltage drop across each resistor. So let's for you to understand this, let's have a sample problem. Example, a 24-volt power source and 3 resistors are connected in series with individual resistance which is for R1 is 4 ohms, R2 is 2 ohms, and R3 is equivalent to 6 ohms. So what is the voltage drop across each resistor? So, based on the given, we have 24 volt as the source. R1 for individual resistance, 1 is 4 ohms, R2 is 2 ohms, and R3 is 6 ohms. Let's calculate the total resistance. So, i-add natin po siya since it is connected in series. So, we have 4 plus 2 plus 6, you got 12 ohms. Next, calculate the current. So, 24 volts over 12. So, ito yung base sa ohms law. 24 volts over 12 ohms, you will get 2 amperes. So, you have to divide the voltage over the total resistance which is connected in series. That's why you got 12 ohms. Okay? Then, now, use the current to calculate the voltage drop across each resistor. Since nakuha na natin yung current niya, ang gagawin natin is i-multiply natin yung yung total ay yung current na nakuha natin sa kada individual resistances or resistance, I mean. Halimbawa, 2 amperes times 4, 2 amperes times 2 for R2, 2 amperes times 6. So doon natin mako-determine yung ang tawag diyan, yung voltage drop ng circuit. That's why you got using voltage is equals to I times R based on the Ohm's law formula for each the values of R1, R2, and R3, you will get 8. So meaning to say, ang voltage drop ng kada individual resistance for as long that it is connected in series, once na-determine natin yung ampere niya, yung current niya, so ang gagawin mo is you're going to multiply 2 ampere times 4, you got 8 volts, right? So 2 ampere times 2, you have 4 volts, and 2 ampere times 6, you have 12 volts. So that's how you compute for the voltage drop. So class, can you follow po? Naintindihan? Hello?
Sir,
Yes po, Sir Marlon.
okay na po, sir.
Okay, thank you. So it's clear naman po siguro sa atin on how to compute the voltage drop. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. Wait. Sige. Since alam na natin yung series circuit, ano bang meaning niya, and paano natin kinocompute yung total resistance niya, ay yung mga resistors that is connected in series. Now this time, and even how to get or determine the voltage drop for each individual resistance, let us now proceed to this another type of circuit, which is the parallel circuit. So kung ang series, kapag ang isang bombilya inalisan mo, the rest will not illuminate or glow. Samantalang dito sa parallel, kapag inalis mo siya, the rest of the bulbs will not be affected because it is connected in the other branch or line. So meaning to say, parallel circuit comprises of branches so that the current divides and only parts of it flows through any branch. Another thing, the voltage or potential difference across each branch of parallel circuit is the same, but the currents may vary. That's the meaning of parallel circuit. So, diba, kapag ang voltage or potential difference dumaan across each branch of parallel circuit, same pa rin siya yung value niya. But pagdating sa current, mababago po siya. So, you will understand this based on the next succeeding slides, especially on the problem that I will give, the problem sample na i-discuss ko sa inyo. Okay? But first, you must understand the principles regarding parallel circuits, particularly on the fundamental quantities of charges. So for the voltage is equal across all components in a parallel circuit. So no need to compute, okay? Because voltage is equal across all components sa parallel. But for current, the total circuit current is equal to the sum of individual branch currents. For resistance naman, individual resistance diminish or nawawala to equal a smaller total resistance rather than add to make the total. So to fully understand this quantities of charges, if the problem is if it's in a parallel circuit, so I'll show you a sample problem. Then you look at the illustration. Okay. So here we have a circuit, parallel circuit, wherein ang value niya is 9 volts. R1 is 10 kilo ohms. Huwag yung kakalimutan ha, pag sinabi nating kilo, it pertains to thousands. Okay? R2 is 2 kilo ohms and R3 is 1 kilo ohms. So dito, this is a table of the charges. A or B or the voltage, diba? Based on the principle, balikan natin ulit, wherein voltage is equal across all components in a parallel circuit. So, all throughout, kapag we have a parallel circuit here, ang value ng voltage or E is sa kada individual resistances is equivalent to same. Parehas po sila. Wala siyang pinagbago. 9 volts pa rin siya. Okay? So, pag ganito mga circuit problem, pag pinapahanap ka ng voltage, IR, minsan nakakuan siya eh. Naka-table siya. So, i-fill out mo siya. So, kapag ang given niya, ang hinahanap pala, I'm sorry, kapag hinahanap niya po is voltage, but it's connected in parallel, is nakita, based sa illustration, di ba, 9 volts yung given, lalagay mo na siya, 9 volts. Kasi parehas lang naman siya eh, sa kada individual resistance. That is based on the principle. So you don't need to add, you don't need to multiply or subtract or perform any other operations. Implied na siya na pare-parehas po yung voltage niya. But how about the I or the current? So hanapin natin dito yung current sa kada individual resistances and the total. Okay? Yung resistance natin, given na po siya, di ba? Based on the circuit. So for R1, we have 10 kilo ohms, R2, 2 kilo ohms, and R3 is 1K. So based on the sample problem, ang hahanapin natin, individual current base sa individual resistances nila, and its total. Okay? Since given na po yung individual resistance, hanapin natin yung total resistance naman niya. So, how are we going to do that? So, let's proceed to the next slide. Since ito naman po yung total voltage niya, connected sa parallel. So, implied na po siya. And we don't need to perform any other operation. Okay? So, palitin natin. So, paano natin makukuha yung individual current and the total current? Ito po yung formula. I1 is equals to E R1 over R1. So, in finding the individual, so, pag sinabing IR1, hanapin mo yung individual current sa R1 or individual current sa individual resistance 1. So, the formula is IR1 is equals to E R1 or the voltage in resistance 1 over R1. Okay? IR2 is equivalent to ER2 over R2. Another naman is IR3 is equivalent to ER3 over R3. So, ano ba yung actual value niya? Okay, based sa formula. Let's see. So, meaning to say, in IR1, since alam naman natin na pare-pares lang yung voltage kapag nasa parallel circuit, is equals to 9 volts over 10 kilo ohms. Okay? Sa IR2 naman, therefore, okay, once we get the correct value is for the ampere is 0.9 milliampere ha, hindi po ampere. Kasi kilo ohms po siya eh. Sometimes you got the correct answer but you forgot to provide or to give the correct value. Okay? 9 volts over 10 kilo ohms, you got 0.9 milliamps. For IR2 naman, okay, IR2 is equals to 9 volts over 2 kilo ohms. So therefore, you will get 4.5 milliamps. Alam na natin, di ba? IR1, nakuha na natin 0.9 milliamperes. IR2 naman, we have 4.5 milliamperes or milliamps. Now now class, let us now proceed to IR3. So we have here 9 volts. IR3 is equivalent to 9 volts over 1 kilo ohms. Therefore, you will get 9 milliampere. So, in finding the individual current for each individual resistances, the formula, for emphasis, for iteration, para at least makuha nyo, may sa puso nyo, maintindihan po natin, IR1 is equivalent to ER1 over R1. IR2 is equivalent to ER2 over R2. Same with IR3, you have ER3 over R3. Okay? So, class, can you follow po? Hello, are you still there?
Yes po, sir.
Yes, sir.
Apo, thank you. So, yan po ang ating individual current. So, meron na tayong voltage. Okay, we have the 9 volts. Now, for the current, for the individual current, for each individual resistance, we have 0.9 milliamperes, 4.5 milliamperes, and 9 milliamperes. So now, we're going to look for the total current. Diba? So, hanapin natin total current. Do we need to add or subtract? Ano ba yung gagamitin natin operation for this? So, eto po yun. Sa rule of parallel circuits, in finding the total current, simple lang po yung gagawin mo. You're going to add the individual current, okay, to get its total current. So, 0.9 plus 4.5 plus 9 milliamperes, you will get 14.4 milliamperes. So, therefore, we have now the total current in parallel circuit. Okay? And then, iba yung series, iba pag parallel. Meaning to say, iba ang formula for series, iba po yung formula for parallel. Baka magkaroon po tayo ng confusion. Okay? So, based on the problem, we already determined the voltage and the voltage, the individual voltage and the total voltage. For I, the individual current and the total current. Now, this time, we have, since the current, the individual current is already provided, now, we're going to determine the total resistance. So, how are we going to do that? Okay? So, in computing the total resistance, what you're going to do is, remember the Ohm's law. So, you have to, in determining the total resistance, you have to divide the total voltage over the current total, or the total current. So, we have, which is equals to 9 volts over 14.4 milliamperes, and you will get 625 ohms. Okay, so the table is already completed. We already determined the individual voltage and its total voltage, same as the individual current and the total current, and finally the total resistance. So that's how you compute the total resistance in parallel circuit. So class, can you still follow? Nakuha po ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, alam na natin kung paano i-compute yung total resistance sa series and sa total resistance sa parallel. So, let us now proceed to the next slide. Class, before we proceed po, let's have a kwan muna. Ang nakakapagod din pala pag tuloy-tuloy yung discussion mo. So, can we declare a health break? Okay lang po ba? At least mga 10 minutes. Is it okay with you? You can take your snacks.
Yes, sir.
Or go to the CR or take a rest muna. Sige po. Let's declare muna a health break. Ano? Sige, let's after 10 minutes po, we'll proceed to the next topic. Thank you. Hello, class? Are you still there? Okay. Okay. While I'm presenting, you can also take your snack. It's okay. We will still continue po the presentation since there are a lot of topics pa na kailangan natin i-cover. Okay, let's proceed with our with the next slide. Please confirm po if nakikita niyo pa rin po yung nasa screen. Is it visible po on your end?
Opo, sir.
Yes
Okay.
po, sir.
So, we already now completed the table wherein we're able to determine the compute the total resistance, the total current, and voltage in a parallel circuit. How about this time? Yung problem is we have two individual resistors connected in parallel with ang given lang is yung value ng voltage and dalawang resistors. So, kindly take a closer look in this sa ganitong circuit. So, okay. So, sorry. Sorry, another example. Next problem pa pala yun. I'm sorry, hindi ko na-anticipate. So, ito yung next problem natin. R1 niya is 2 ohms, R2 is 6 ohms, while R3 is 3 ohms. So, let's find the total resistance. So, in finding the total resistance, what we're going to do, here's the formula. 1 over RT is equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. Diba? Kung sa series, madali lang siya. So, all you have to do is to add those three resistors and you will get the value. Let's say 2 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, you have 11 ohms. If the problem is in a series circuit. But this time po, the three individual resistors are connected in parallel. So, ang gagawin mo is you have to divide, find the total resistance using this formula. 1 over RT is equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. So, kung i-convert natin, it is equals to 1 over RT is equals to 1 over 2 plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3. Okay. So, paano kaya ito gagawin? So, we need to add since nasa nasa fraction stage siya eh. So, we need to add the numerator and the denominator. Can you still remember sa when you were in elementary? Have you encountered, di ba sa parts ng fraction, meron tayong tinatawag na numerator and denominator? Tama ba, class? Can you still remember po? Naalala niyo po ba yon? Numerator and denominator?
Yes, boss.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, have you heard of the term LCD?
Yes.
Opo, sir.
So, yung sinasabi nating LCD or the least common denominator. So, we have here
6,
2, 6, 3, diba?
2, 12.
Yeah. So, ang least common denominator niya, hindi po 6. It's 12. Okay? So, here, in computing the total value of resistance, hanapin natin yung common denominator. Okay? So, here, 1 over RT. So, how did I arrive with 12? With 612. Mr. Ascutia. Bakit naging from 1 over 2 siya, naging 612 siya? Do you have an idea? Can you still remember the process? In converting it to using the LCD? Mr. Ascutia, can you hear me po? Can you follow?
Yes, boss.
Sige.
Ano po yun, sir, yung tanong, sir?
Regarding sa least common denominator, 'di ba? Ang LCD niya is 12. So, paano siya naging from 1 to naging 612 siya? Can you follow?
Yes po.
Sige.
Just copy po. That follow as the, anong tawag po sa ilalim.
The
Multiplied by
Apo.
denominator. Multiplied by the denominator na 2. Yung nasa taas.
Okay, sige.
6.
Okay. 12 divided by 2, tama?
Yes po.
6 times 1 is 6. So therefore, yung 1 2 natin, kukupen mo lang, yung 2 magiging 12 siya. Kasi yan ang least common denominator. Yung 2, 6, and 3 will be 12. Pero, bago mo siya makuha na 6, 12, kailangan muna i-divide muna. Okay? 12 divided by 2, you will get 6. And 6 times 1 is 6. And then copy mo yung 12. So you got 612. How about 1, 6? 12 divided by 6, you will get what? 2. Tama? Then 2 times 1, diba? It's 2. So 2 over 12. Okay? For 12, so for the next individual resistance, 12 divided by 3 is you will get 4 times 1. So you will have 4. Then copy as what Mr. Ascutia said, 12. So pag parehas po yung denominator niya, pwede mo na siya i-add yung nasa numerator niya. So 6. So you will get RT is equals to 12, diba? 6 plus 2 plus 4, 12 over 12. So, the total resistance for this circuit connected in parallel is 1 ohm. Okay? So, that's how you get the total resistance in a parallel circuit. Okay? So, next. So, ito naman yung problem. Kung kanina, tatlong individual resistance connected in parallel, what if dalawang resistor lang yung given? Okay, based on the illustration or the diagram, yung voltage niya is 12 volts. Yung resistance niya, we have two individual resistors. For R1, we have 22 kilo ohms. For R2 naman class, we have 47,000 or 47 kilo ohms. How are we going to compute the total resistance? Do we need to kailan ba natin i-apply yung 1 over RT? Or is there a simple process or another way or solution or equation para makuha natin yung total resistance? So I'm going to share with you the alternative. Okay, kapag dalawang resistor lang yung given, ang gagawin nyo class is use this formula. So RT or the total resistance, this is for this is for resistors connected in parallel circuit. So RT is equals to R1 times R2 over R1 plus R2. So i-convert natin, RT is equals to 22 kilo ohms times 47 kilo ohms over 22 kilo ohms plus 47 kilo ohms. So you will get 14,985 ohms to be exact, or pwede naman po nating iyan ang tawag dan. Anong term po yan sa mathematics kapag i-increase natin? Round off, di ba? Round off for 15 kilo ohms. So that's how you determine, you get the total resistance in parallel circuit if the given value po is dalawang resistors or two individual resistors. So again, the formula is RT is equals to, you're going to multiply R1 and R2 over R1 plus R2. So, did I get it right, class? Do you have questions or clarifications po? Malinaw po ba? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Sige. So how about ito, another problem. Okay. You can use your mobile phone or you can use any calculator. So ito naman yung technique na pwede natin gamitin. Kanina, we used the 1 over RT formula. Next one naman, a while ago, compute the total the total resistance in parallel circuit kapag ang given is dalawang resistor. But how about finding the total resistance naman in parallel circuit using a calculator? So, while presenting this activity, pwede nyong gamitin yung inyong calculator. Okay? Sige. So, based on the schematic diagram, ang given po natin is yung source niya is 24 volts. Yung individual resistors niya ay R1 is 10 ohms, R2 is 20 ohms, R3 is 30 ohms, and R4 which is equivalent to 40 ohms. So, gagamitin natin to. Okay. Since nasa parallel circuit tayo and marami yung individual resistors. So, R total is equals to R1 plus R1 over R2 plus 1 over R3 plus 1 over R4. Okay? Sige. So, going back from this formula, 1 over R total, nakikita naman po natin yung formula. So, i-convert na natin. It's equals to 1 over 10 ohms plus 1 over 20 ohms plus 1 over 30 ohms and 1 over 40 ohms. This time, huwag na muna tayong gamit ng least common denominator. Gamitin natin po yung ating calculator. So, how are we going to do this? Using our calculator to compute the total resistance connected in parallel. So here, based on the illustration, meron akong calculator dito. Okay. So, i-type natin yung first resistor na 1, 0, or 10 ohms. So, ang gagawin mo, i-type mo or press mo yung 1, 0, and then, i-click mo po yung, ang tawag dito class na 1 over x is the inverse key. If you're using your computer, merong calculator dyan na application. Ito yung di ba makikita nyo sa mga Windows 10. So, kahit naka-standard point siya form, makikita po yung symbol or formula. The 1 over x or tinatawag nating inverse key. Okay? Nakikita po ba? Can you follow? Using your mobile phone or your laptop or calculator. Class, are you still with me? Can you follow po?
Yes, sir.
So, 10 ohms. I-compute muna natin yung first R1, 10 ohms. Then, click mo yung I over X or the inverse key. Once you click that, you will get 0.1. Okay? 0.1. And after that, i-add mo na po. So, no need to look for LCD. We will be using the calculator. So, kanina, press 1, 0, and then click the inverse key or the 1 over x symbol or icon, and you will get 0.1. And after that, click the plus or add button na matatagpuan below. Ito po siya. Once you click the add button, i-type nyo naman po yung 20 or 20 ohms. Diba? Ulitin natin. So, type 10, inverse key, 0.1, plus the next R2 or the individual resistor which is 20 ohms, 20, diba? After you type the 20, click again the inverse key. Okay? I-click nyo ulit ang inverse key. Pag click nyo siya, mababago po siya. It will now become 0.05. Diba? Kung ang 10, 0.1, sa 20 po, pag click nyo yung inverse key, it will be 0.05. Okay? After you click the inverse key and nakuha na natin yung value, click again the plus or the you have to add again plus 30 ohms or 30 or type 30. Click ulit natin yung inverse key and you will get what? 0.03333 whatsoever. Yun ang lalabas. Okay? Hope you can follow. So after that, once you click the inverse key for 30 ohms, balik tayo sa plus icon. Click again the plus icon, then type 40 or the 40 ohms. Ito yung last given or individual resistor. 40 ohms, and after you click or after you type 40 or 40 ohms, for the last time, not for the last time, click again the inverse key or the 1/x button or icon. Then you will get 0.025. Kapag na-click mo na yon, na-convert mo na siya using the I/x icon or symbol, that's the time you will use you will click the equals or press the equals. Okay? Pag na-press mo na yung equals, ito yung makukuha mo. 0.2083333 something like that. Pero, take note, warning class, this is a reminder. This is not yet the total resistance. Kasi akala ng ilan, ito yung mga misconception ng mga students. Engineering students, electrical students, electronics, kapag nagka-compute sila ng total resistance in parallel using the calculator. Akala nila, kapag na-total na nila, nabigay na yung inverse key ng kada individual resistors and nag-equals ka, ito na yung value. Hindi po. So, paano natin makukuha yung total resistance? So, again, i-click mo ulit yung, diba, nakuha mo na yung total. Ito yung lumabas. Hindi po yan yung total resistance. So, ang gagawin mo, click the inverse key again. Okay? Click the inverse key for the last time. Okay? Click or press the inverse key and what will happen, you will get 4.0. So, I'm sorry. You will get 4.8. So, yung 4.8 class, that will be your total resistance or 48 ohms. Okay? So, that's how you compute the total resistance in parallel circuit using the calculator. Okay? Sige. So, kanina, na-compute na natin, ay nalaman na natin yung ano yung series or pinakaiba ng series sa parallel, how determine the quantities of the total value for each charge if it's in series, or finding the total resistance kapag nasa parallel, even the other charges. But have you seen or heard about the combination of the two? Meron tayong tinatawag class na series parallel circuit. Okay. Ano ba yung series parallel circuit natin? Okay? Pag sinabi natin class series parallel circuit or tinatawag natin siyang series parallel circuit combination. Okay. Kung may series, may parallel, minsan sa isang problem, combine yung dalawang klase ng circuit. So series parallel or combination circuit, kaya tinawag siyang combination because it has a combination of series and parallel paths for the electricity flow. Its properties are a combination of the two. Okay? So a series parallel circuit or combination circuit combines both series and parallel. Most electronic circuits falls into this category. Series parallel circuits are typically used when different voltage and current values class are required from the same voltage source. So this is what we call series parallel circuit combination or combination circuit. So paano pag-compute ng ganitong circuit ng resistor sa ganitong klaseng ng connection. So based on the illustration or based on the diagram, we have three individual resistors. The first one is connected in series and the other one is in parallel. So for R1, we have 12 ohms. R2 is 10 ohms. And for R3 is 40 ohms. And the total voltage niya is, the given voltage is 100 volts. If you will observe, concentrate para ma-analyze natin and compute natin, hanapin muna natin yung parallel. Since R2 and R3 are parallel, kung i-analyze natin, kasi iba yung connection niya compare sa R1. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is we're going to find the total resistance using the formula in finding total resistance in parallel connection. So, di ba pag dalawa lang yung given, ang gagawin natin, gagamitin natin tong formula. So, R is equivalent to R2 times R3 over R2 plus R3. So, i-convert natin, R equivalent is equals to 10 times 40 over 10 plus 40 and you will get 8 ohms. Okay? So, nakuha na natin yung value ng total resistance in parallel. Pag total resistance of the circuit, in finding the total resistance of the circuit is RT is equals to R1 plus R equivalent. Ito yung kinuha natin kanina. Nag-focus muna tayo or we concentrated first on the parallel connection. So we have R2 and R3 which is 10 and 40 ohms. So what we did is we based on the formula RT is equals to R2 times R3 over R2 plus R3. So we got 8 ohms, right? So para makuha natin yung total resistance niya using the combination circuit, i-add lang po natin. So, implied na po, sa series, 12 ohms na siya. Fix na po yan. So, i-add lang natin yung nakuha nating total resistance niya sa parallel na nakuha natin is 8 ohms. So, 12 plus 8, you have 20 ohms. So, that's the total resistance in series parallel connection. Class, are you still there? Can you follow? Hindi pa kayo nalilito? Nakakuha niyo po ba, class? Hello? Am I still audible?
Yes po.
Okay, thank you, Miss Vasquez. Sige. Ulitin ko ang circuit hindi lang po series and parallel. May instances sa problem or sa electronics and electricity, combined din po siya. That's why we have the series parallel or the combination circuit. So, base sa problem, isa lang po yung naka-series and dalawa po yung naka-parallel. So, yung parallel po is yung R2 and R3. Okay, so that's how we get the total resistance connected in series and parallel connection. Okay po. Sige. But I forgot pala. Nakuha na natin yung total resistance. We failed to we forgot to find the total current. So sa tingin niyo, paano nyo kaya i-solve to? So alam na natin yung total resistance sa series parallel, but how about sa current? Can you do the class para at least makita ko naman if you are coping with my lectures or understand my presentation? So, I think I'll be giving you at least 2 minutes, or if you're done, you can unmute the audio and tell me the correct answer. So, I think, sige daw po, pasagot nga po to or try to solve it in your paper. Sige, I'll be waiting po. Just let me know if you know the answer, ha? If you are already done, you can unmute the audio and you are recognized po. Ano, ang hahanapin natin is current based sa problem. Class, are you done? Anybody would like to give his or her answer? Anyone? Hello? Don't be shy. Okay lang po. Just give it a try. Malay mo tama yung sagot natin. Anyone? You can unmute your audio. Can you still follow, class? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone from this group would like to share his or her answer? So, based on the problem, we're going to figure out or try to look for the value of current. So, what do you think is the value of current? Diba? Just go to the principle. And if you can still remember, diba? Yung tinuro ko sa inyo, you can go back. Ayun yung pag-aralan yung mga yung dati. Anybody? Any volunteer? Are you still with me, class? Ano ba? Nahihirapan ba kayo? Current lang hinahanap natin. Hello, people. Walang tao. Class? Are you still solving? Class, paggalawin nyo naman po yung baso. Abutin ba tayo ng 5? Hello? Hello, class? Kaya pa ba? Hello po? Sino andito? Yes, anybody there? Hello, am I still audible po? Nawala ba ako sa signal? Hello? Okay naman nata yung internet natin. Hello? Anybody? Wants to try? It's okay. Try lang po.
Excuse me, sir. 5 po, sir.
Okay. Why Sir Junel 5? Anong kwan mo? Kahit guess lang. Ano sa opinion mo? Bakit nag-arrive ka sa 5?
Division po, sir. 100
Sige.
divided by 20.
So, ang ginawa mo is 100 divided by saan ka kumuha ng okay. You know, what you did is you divide voltage over the total resistance. Am I right?
Yes po, sir.
Based on dinivide mo yung source to 100 volts over 20 ohm. So you got, what's your answer? 5
5 po.
amperes. Okay. Sige. Thank you, Sir Junel. Any other answers? I'm not sure if tama si Sir Junel. How about the rest? Same answers ba?
5 din po, sir.
Si Dayan. Okay. Sige. 5 din ba?
Sige po, sir.
Yes, Miss De Los Santos. What is your answer?
5 po, sir.
So ibig sabihin lahat kayo 5. Pambihira. Nagkataon ba? Sige, yes po. Hello. Yes, Ma'am Midel. Ma'am, Jofel.
Sir, sa akin 10.16.
Sige. So, tawang-tawa si Ma'am. Bakit Ma'am 0.16? Ako, pa-share naman po. Pwede malaman kung bakit 0.16 yung sagot natin. How did you arrive? Okay lang, Ma'am. Paano ka po nag-arrive ng 0.16?
Ano, sir? 10 divided by 2.
10. Sige po. Okay lang. Okay, Ma'am. Okay, Ma'am Jopel po, it's 0.16 amperes. Pwedeng point. Okay. Sige. Who else? What's another idea? So, yung tatlo, 5 amperes. Si Ma'am Jopel is 0.16. Okay lang. Sige. So, who else? Same ba? So I assume Ma'am Billy, Ma'am Mika, and Ma'am Grace ata, 5 amperes din yung sagot nila. Mika?
Yes po, sir.
Ano
5 amperes din po.
Okay. Sige. Ma'am Grace? Still, same din po yung sagot? If you are around?
Yes po, 5.
Okay.
5 ampere.
Sige. Let's see.
Opo.
Thank you, ma'am. Sige. So, karamihan, majority is 5 amperes. So, let's proceed with the formula. So, ang hinahanap natin dito, since nakuha na natin yung total resistance niya, so, what's missing now is the current. Balik kayo sa Ohm's law. Diba? If you can still remember the Ohm's law triangle, the Ohm's law chart, the matrix, diba? Let's return to the roots. Okay? Kahit ganun ka-complex yung problem niya, balik tayo sa pinaka-core, yung core niya mismo, the Ohm's law. Okay? Nakuha nyo na? Sometimes kasi, wag tayo, we should not be scared of numbers. Kumbaga, wag natin interpret, lalong tumatagal, humihirap yung computation or pinapagawa ni Sir Kenji. Stick with the Ohm's law, stick with kasi andun lahat yan andun yung naka-anchor. So, tama po. IT is equals to the voltage, which is 100 volts, and yung total resistance niya. Okay? 5 amperes. Ganun lang po kasimple. So, alam ko, it's okay, Ma'am Jopel. Ganyan din po ako. Minsan, sa dapat mong kabisaduhin na formula, minsan nalilito ka na kung ano ba yung value. Ganun din po kami. Even as faculty, nalilito din kami minsan. And, basta, guided kayo lagi ng Ohm's law triangle, ng power triangle, the pie chart, hindi kayo mawawala. Okay? So, that's how we compute the total value of current sa series parallel circuit. Okay. So this time, ito another problem. Okay? 12 ohms, 1 ohms, ang daming combination. Okay? So kung titingnan nyo, ang total number of resistors natin is 1, 2, 3, 4, marami-rami to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Sa tingin nyo, sa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 na individual resistors, pakituro nga po dyan yung series. Alin dyan yung series and parallel? Anybody? Yes po. So, recognize.
Bali po sir yung series, yung 1, tsaka yung 2, and then yung parallel po is yung 12, 4, 10, and 8.
4, 10, and 8. Sige. How about the others? Do you agree with Ma'am Grace's answer? Na ito yung series, ito yung parallel? Do you have any other answers in mind? Or paras din po kayo ng sinasabi ni Ma'am Grace? So, I think hearing none, siguro nag-agree kayo kay Ma'am Grace. So, let's see if tama yung sinabi ni Ma'am. Okay? So, ito yung given natin. Actually, di naka-indicate yung R1, R2 dito. Yes? What is it? Yes. Sir, ikaw ba yung Sir Jonel? Yes po?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Do you have something?
Additional po, sir. For
Mhm.
series po, 1, 1, 2, 8. And parallel, 12, 4, 10.
12, 4, 10. Are you sure?
Hindi po, sir.
Okay lang. Let's see. So how about the others? Do you agree to Sir Jonel idea or answers? Na yung 1, 1, 1, 2 are series. But look at the connection. Hindi man ibig sabihin, pag nasa top, tawag ito, pag naka horizontal ang illustration niya, therefore series siya. Kapag yung apat vertical yung resistor niya, ay puro ini parallel. It's not, okay? Try to look at the connection. Just try to remember, di ba may I dyan, yung I. Ito yung start ng flow ng current. So, do you think na pagdating dito, galing sa galing sa 1 ohm, do you think na diretso siya papunta sa 1 ohm? Okay. Take note, may humarang. Yes po? Do you have something to share?
Okay. It's possible po pala na yung 8 is series din. Kasi wala siyang harang.
Okay, sige.
Ayun po lang.
Okay, sige. So, let's see. Based on your response or feedback, let's see. So, paano natin i-compute to? Since unang-una, hindi natin malaman. Tama din yung illustration kasi hindi mo siya masasabi na parallel siya na or bibigyan mo siya ng category R1 kasi nasa series parallel combination siya. So, we can easily distinguish kung alin dito yung series or alin dito yung parallel. Okay? Na resistors. So, let's proceed. Teka. Wait a minute, i-off ko muna yung aking background music para mapakinggan nyo yung presentation. Okay. So, step 1. Para ma-analyze natin and makuha natin yung total resistance niya, try to analyze the circuit. Hanapin muna yung series dyan. So, may point din yung sinabi ni Ma'am Grace na nag-focus agad sa dulo. 2 ohms and 8 ohms can be considered as resistors na in series connection. Because dito pa lang sa 1 ohms may mga nakaharang na horizontal resistors. Okay? Pero later on, ang gagawin natin yung mga naka-parallel circuit connection, magiging series connection siya. So, ang mangyari, tawag dito, paliliitin natin yung circuit. Okay? I-convert natin yan using the formula, lahat yan magiging series connection. Ito yung first step. Hanapin muna yung mga resistor in series. So, ang ginawa natin, punta tayo sa likod or sa dulo. So, based on the illustration, the shaded resistors 2 ohms and 8 ohms are in series connection. So, alam naman natin, in finding the total resistance in series, i-add lang natin po yan na 8 and 2 ohms. So, these two resistors are in series. So, we add their two resistances to get the equivalent or the total resistance or the equivalent resistance kasi hindi pa siya totally ino-compute natin. So, 2 ohms plus 8 ohms, we have now the 10 ohms. Okay? Sige. Select tayo. 2 and 8, we got 10 ohms. Tapos nakuha natin yung total equivalent resistance niya in series na between 8 and 2. So, the two resistors now can be replaced by their equivalent resistance. So, ngayon, magiging 10 ohm na siya. So, kinumbine natin kanina yung 2 and 8 since these are in series connection, inad natin siya, we got 10 ohms. Yung 10 ohms natin, pinag-isa na lang natin. 10 ohms yung coming from 8 and 2. Okay? Balik tayo. The two resistors can be replaced by their equivalent resistance. Yung 8 and 2 kanina, now merge into 1, we have 10 ohm resistors. Okay, the next part. So, ang katabi ng 10 ohms is another resistor na kapares din niya, which is also 10 ohms. The next step is we now find the 10 resistors in parallel. So, itong shaded part, yung 10 ohms and 10 ohms, these are in parallel connection at the new far right of the circuit. So, paano natin, since these two are parallel, how are we going to compute the equivalent resistance? So, balik tayo ulit sa formula na diniscuss ko. 10, which is parallel to 10 ohms, is equivalent to, laging tatandaan, di ba? Pag dalawang resistors ang given, connected in parallel, use or perform this formula. Okay? 10 times 10 over 10 plus 10. So, 10 ohms is equals to 10 times 10 over 10 plus 10, then you will get 5 ohms. Okay? So, nakuha nating 5 ohms, balik ulit tayo sa diagram. In-explain ko sa inyo, class, para not just only the formula, makita nyo kung ano nangyayari sa circuit. Pinapaliit natin para ma-understand natin on how we're going to compute the total resistance in a combination of series and parallel circuit. Okay? Let's go back. Okay. Yung 10 and 10 kanina, since na-compute na natin yung value niya in parallel circuit, now, minerge natin into 1. Now, we have 5 and 1 ohms, di ba? So, ito, connected siya in what? Series or parallel?
Series po.
Okay, series. Okay, nakikita natin yung pattern, right? So, ang ginawa natin is from dulo, ino-compute natin kada pair. And then, chinecheck natin kung series or parallel connection siya. Pag series, iba yung formula. Pag parallel, ito naman yung gagamiting formula. So, in step 3, a pattern is emerging. We are working through the schematic from right to left. Diba? From dulo, hanggang sa pupunta tayo sa source or sa voltage or from right to left. Simplifying and redrawing as we go. Next up, we find two series resistors, 1 ohm and 5 ohm. So definitely 1 plus 5 ohms, we got 6 ohms. Okay. Ngayon, nakuha na natin, emerge naman natin. Okay. So, ang makikita ninyo is tatlong resistors connected in what? Series or parallel?
Parallel.
Okay, parallel. Okay. So, i-highlight natin ulit. 12, 4, and 6 ohm. Ito yung, papunta na tayo sa exciting part na which is a bit more challenging. So, this time, we have 3 resistors in parallel. So, you have 12, 4 ohms, yung 6, ito yung kinumpute natin. Yung dalawang resistors na connected in series na nakuha natin na naging 6 ohms. Merge natin na lang. So, ngayon, i-compute natin yung tatlong resistors na to connected in parallel using this formula. So, the equation, because we have 3 resistors in parallel, ito yung, we'll be using the full parallel resistor equation. So, R1 over R is equals to 1 over R1 plus R2 plus 1 over R3. So, hanapin natin yung least common denominator. Just like what we did. Diba? So, 1 over 12 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 6. Diba? 12, tama ba? 12 divided by 12 times 1 equals 112 plus 12 divided by 4 12 divided by 4 ohms, you got 3. So 3 times 1 is 3 over 12. Tama. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So you have 212. So from different denominators, since nakuha natin yung LCD na 12, ikakopy na lang natin. So nakuha natin is 1 plus 3 plus 12, or what you will get is 1 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 12, or papalitin natin, or kumbaga nakuha natin 6, 12, papalitin natin, gagawin natin 1/2. So, hindi po pwedeng ang sagot is 1/2 ohms. There's no such things as 1/2 ohms na answer in finding the total resistance. Okay? I-reciprocate natin. Babalik rin natin. So, the equivalent resistance is the reciprocal of 1/2 or 2 ohm. So, hindi po tama ang sagot na 1/2 lang po. So, from 1/2, gagawin natin 2 over 1. So, the answer will be 2 ohms. So, that is the value or the total resistance of each resistors connected in a combination circuit consists of series and parallel. Tas, nakuha po ba? Or can you follow? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes po.
Sige po. So, sige. So, the equivalent resistance is the reciprocal of 1/2 or 2 ohms. Okay. So, this time, ang naiwan is 1 ohm and na-merge na natin yung tatlong individual resistors in parallel, and we got now 2 ohms. So, ito na yung madali. So, for step 5, we are now down to the last 2 series resistors. So, automatically, i-add lang natin to. Okay? So, you will have 3 ohms. So, 1 plus 2, definitely 3 ohms. So, that is the total resistance. Okay? Hindi po 2 ohms kasi may naiwan pa tayong isang resistor na connected in series. Kaya, kinumpute natin yung 1 plus 2. So, we have now 3 ohms. That's the total resistance. Since naubos na natin i-compute yung mga individual resistors, either in series or in parallel. Okay? Sige. Okay na. Ito na tayo sa exciting part. Okay? Ito yung problem. Try to answer this problem po using your piece of paper. Okay? Okay. Sige. Ganito. Since medyo malat na yung boses ko and kagaling ko pa lang sa sakit, so take home assignment na lang to. So basahin yung problem. Okay, you can pwedeng screenshot or watch this video after. Pero matagal to ata bago ko ma-upload ulit eh. Kasi mabagal yung aking internet. So basahin ulit yung problem and then try to solve po. Okay? If you're available, since may di ba until 5 tayo, after watching this video, proceed po answering, and then isend nyo lang sa akin yung sagot sa either sa sa ako na lang po sa aking messenger. Tama ba, class? Can you follow? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Sige po. So, panoorin nyo ulit, basahin nyo, then, let's say, mga 2 minutes, then I'll be back, and then, as for photo ops, then, you are free to go. Okay? Class dismiss na tayo. Sige. Okay, class? I think that's enough. I think hope na-capture nyo po yung problem, ano? So, before we leave Tabe, I'll send you the link of your attendance. Okay? I-send ko po sa ating meet. Okay, wait. in a short while. So please verify or confirm if you if you received the link sa ating in-call messages. Class, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nakuha nyo ba yung link of our for attendance for this meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, are there any questions, clarifications po, or concerns about the lesson or anything pertinent to TLE 210 course? Class? Hello? May tanong po ba?
None, sir.
Okay, thank you, Sir Marlon, for the response. How about the rest? May clarification po ba kayo or questions? Hello, guys.
None, sir.
Okay. Okay, hearing none po, can we ask for a photo ops as our evidence that we conducted a sync meeting? Sige po. Kindly open your camera? Junel, parang kilala ko yung katabi mo ah. Estudyante ko ba yan? Last time? Kaya daw. Face reveal. Sige. Eyes on the camera. Sige. Si Magno ba yan? Junel? Kaya daw. Sige. Eyes on the screen. Camera. 1, 2, 3. Wala.
Sir,
1.
bali.
Yes po. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, class. Thanks for your time. Sige po.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye po.
sir.
Okay. Okay, class. Kindly answer the learning exercises, and once you're done, send it to my messenger for me to check your answers and as part of the recitation, so that I could determine if you appreciate or understand the lesson. Okay, and see also if you learn. So next meeting we will discuss about another topic which is all about diagrams. Here you have to learn how to analyze and interpret different diagrams, and you will make your own drawings or layout based from what you've learned. So class, if you still have questions or clarifications, feel free to message me. Here's my contact details, and as what I always say, for anything else, kindly proceed working on your project. Time is of the essence. We only have 2 weeks left before this midyear ends. So as what I always say, thank you for listening, for your participation. Keep safe always.
Click on Zombie Apocalypse.